Another episode of contract writing. Um, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Got
Nice.
got myself, Hodzod, and Bitful Panel here with me.
Yes, hello.
And today we're gonna be working on an abstract account contract. So we've just recently added account abstraction to the Uqbar uh, roll up execution engine, and now we're going to use it to try and write a better multisig contract. So
Hmm.
yeah, let's give this a shot. So
Faster, cheaper, and better, I guess.
yeah. So I'll start with this format, and I'm going to call this abstract multisig. This is a name. So the idea here is to take um, multi-sig contract and set it up such that the all of the signing and validation occurs off chain, and then when it comes into the contract, it's a gasless proposal. So the contract itself covers the gas.
Hmm.
Um,
Very
yeah,
useful. I think you
yeah,
can use most of the current multisig and then
yeah,
change the important parts.
yeah. I should pull your latest from here. This is an
I
older
think
version.
this should be fine if we're gonna change the parts
Okay,
anyway.
okay, yeah.
Um,
All right, let's do that then.
then yeah.
Um, and we're gonna have to go through this line by line anyway. So
Hmm.
yeah. So yeah. So
First,
step. Sorry. Yeah.
no, keep going. I was just like,
Um,
first easy thing to do is you can like remove the on-chain parts, like build and propose,
yeah.
which previously had an on-chain option,
Yeah.
but
So we won't
now.
we won't be using these functions at all.
Mhm.
So in fact, I think really the parts I need are here: add member, remove
Yes,
member, set threshold.
and create
This
too.
stuff doesn't really change, right? Um, Oh yeah, create. Well, create is interesting because yeah, no, we still need create, but it's very simple because it's only ever
Yeah,
going to be called on a knit, right? Because we're
yeah,
we're still going to hold on to like the separate contract mode.
yes.
Okay, so meta actions to adjust the actual multi-sig uh, data point. Yeah, let's look at action here. So validate is the gasless call. Um,
Hmm.
and so I think what we need for validate, we keep the call data that we're actually going to execute. So this is sort of like the proposal. So in this contract, we have this proposal concept, which is a list of calls. But here, that proposal is just going to be one call. Um,
Hmm.
by the
We
way, yeah,
could.
part of the account abstraction setup is that like the validate can only make one call valid, but
Hmm.
of course you could make a call that would trigger other calls.
Like the validate call itself has like calls in it, or could you? This would offset the point, I guess, of like, because the way you get like you can send an unsigned transaction and basically let the contract pay gas is you call validate on this contract or any other one, and
Exactly.
then the engine checks for if it is validate and it's unsigned, then it runs a few checks and then like takes zigs from the contract instead.
Exactly.
So if we would have a method, say like execute, that would still take a list of calls and like return call like several calls to itself of validate,
Yeah.
that could work, but you
Yeah.
would still have to pay gas for the first one, right?
No, no. Well, no,
No.
because you could like so I think that actually makes sense for the answer here. So we can have validate, which
Hmm.
will of course, check this will be like a signature set instead of that. And if the multisig is valid, right, if it's approved, it'll execute this singular call, but the singular call can be a call back to this exact contract with a name like execute multiple, which takes a list of calls.
Ah, okay. Okay. Vice versa, basically.
That's
Interesting.
actually the right way to do this, because the reason an abstract, like basically a signatureless transaction can only validate one call, is that basically you are creating a new transaction with this as call data, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the kind of transaction that an externally owned account would produce is being produced by this contract, and so you can't have multiple calls bundled into that,
Mm,
which is like,
okay.
yeah. So that this is fine though. This is good actually. This is a very good setup. Um, anyway, we don't.
Okay. This makes sense. So inside validate, we can actually like validate the additional like the call data of what goes next of the
Yeah,
signature,
yeah,
and okay, cool.
exactly. So, um, yeah. By the way, Marcus,
Mm-hmm.
check this out. I don't know, something that you've expressed interest in is being able to write a contract that doesn't require a library file for the action type.
Yes.
So look at this. I do a bar
Oh.
cat and I put the action type down here.
Ah.
This
Okay.
works.
Very nice.
Yeah. So
Very nice.
we can keep this
Doors.
one library list for now and just add our like state type here.
Mm-hmm.
And so this will be very similar to the old one. So it's like members equals pset address threshold. Still has a threshold. It just doesn't have the other stuff. It's basically just this.
Members and threshold, right? It should
I
be.
think that's it.
Uh, mm,
I think that's
oh,
it.
executed. We maybe a list of like hashes of what you've executed before. This
Um,
is not necessarily like it doesn't really tell you anything because the hash is like a
I
hash of type data,
I
but
think that, yeah.
this enables nonces though. Like if we don't have some kind of nonce thing, then we could just like replay previous signatures and like yeah. Um,
Oh, good point, dude. Good point. I think instead of executed being a list, then I think we literally just have a nonce,
could have that. Yeah, yeah.
because we don't need
Although
to store a list of execute proposals on chain because they will be indexed because they're transactions, because they're validate calls,
yeah, yeah,
literally.
it's,
Because this
yeah.
call data gets hashed and is the transaction hash and is, you know, stored in an outer way
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah,
off-chain use. I think this is solid, and so we'll include a nonce right here as well,
and the validate
and this has to match.
call.
That's the idea. Or
Yes,
no, sorry. This lives inside the signed
the signature.
portion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these signatures will have to validate like this call plus the nonce. Yeah.
Yes, and a deadline too.
Okay. Excellent. Um, okay. So yeah, and we'll probably use this, right? We'll probably use the jolt.
That should be fine. It's still call data and it's a
Oh,
noun.
no, we'll have to adjust the actual data type. I'm just saying generally we'll be building something like this.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Wait, do we need to? Oh, okay, it's a list. Oh, yeah. Well, yes.
PMAP.
Classic.
Gotta be a PMAP. Um, I guess we also have a deadline.
Yeah, the deadline is a bit arbitrary, but it's good for signatures anyway.
Deadline is probably important. But that
Yeah,
lives inside the signed data as well. Well, we need to provide it here.
yeah. Mm,
Okay, so there's validate, there's this weird execute multiple thing that we can only call ourselves as the contract, and then separately we have the usual this stuff. This stuff.
yes.
This is just for accessing this data item, so I guess we
Yeah.
still need that. We still need that.
Where otherwise we just store it.
Well, we can't hard code it because we don't really
Yeah,
know it until we, you know,
yeah.
it's easier to put in the call data, unfortunately.
You could hard code it in a like loss arm with like okay, yeah, you can't with
Well, you would have to.
hash data, but that's
No, you
not.
could. I mean, you could. It's just like I don't like it.
Yeah, me.
It's also burning gas every time.
Hmm.
I don't know. This is easier. Um, so that's all the same, and then I'll deal with the jolt stuff later.
Hmm.
Let's just use this for now. So these, let's do a quick run through on these. I think they stay more or less the same, but
Yes.
this is the
There's
same.
a there's like a scry state thing that you need to
Yeah, yeah,
put
we have to
above them.
fetch
But
that.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess
There you
it's
go.
still a nice pattern to keep these in their own like I think this is still probably a clean. Um, I'm also changing this from multisig to hour because like using multisig everywhere is like quite confusing to me.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, dude, tell me about it. I had msig
yeah,
on multisig, off multisig in the Go app, like all sorts
yeah,
of
yeah,
permutations.
exactly.
R is better.
So this is clean. This is very
So yeah,
clean.
for context, like in this case, like the your every multisig, like you're deploying a contract, and then on init, like as you deploy it, you immediately call its create arm, which will write soon.
Yeah.
That'll create the data item, which in this case is like R. That's the thing we pass in each time, and R keeps all the data you saw on the right, like members and nonce and so on.
Yeah.
Whereas the contract is just some mock, and but the contract can hold other accounts, like can be the holder of other, like say Zig's accounts or other fungibles.
Hmm.
So there's like distinction there. Mm.
So we have validate as a case, we have create as a case, and then we have
All the rest.
this weird execute multiple. And I'm keeping these out of this switch statement just because these three actions are sort of like only ever self-called and they require this state item, and these 3
Mm-hmm.
don't. And I mean, this is just a style choice, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's still fairly clean. I don't know. This could change. This could change.
Yeah.
It's not awesome, but we'll see. I'm just gonna write execute multiple super quick because it's super simple. Oh, and another thing we can do is like pull this out and put this right here because everything from this point forward requires our self to
Mm-hmm.
be the caller because these are only self calls. Like I like that.
Very nice.
Yep, I like that. I like that. I like that. All of this is good. Um, yeah. If member count has been reduced below threshold, decrement it. Yeah, this is good function. Okay, so if we're executing multiple, all we do is do list.action right here, list of calls, and then no side effects. That is it. That's funny, isn't it?
Yes.
Super simple.
Okay, this will be interesting. Yeah, I think the create one should be exactly the same, more or less.
Yeah, more or less, except we have the side effect of we build the data item. And
Which happens in create anyway, right? Yeah.
yeah, but we also need the validation checks. So I'm just gonna copy this.
Yes.
So
No, yeah, yeah, I mean the same as in like the one you have on the right.
Threshold. Yeah. This looks good. So issue a new item. This
There's
is
like a control F through the whole Uqbar repo for eggs, shells, and like
basically,
farms.
yeah. So this logic stays. This logic is good. This logic is good. I'm gonna do this. I prefer this though.
Oh, nice.
That's clean.
The 0 is not in the context, right?
Well, it has to be inside this cell because it's the last. Like this has to be a cell of 4, and so if I put the bracket over here, it would be incorrectly shaped.
We can put it. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I see. Shit.
So this works, and also 0 is a constant, so it is in the context. It's like in the subject.
Okay, that works.
And we don't need to have ID declared separately. We can just put it straight into the item that we're building. This is good. This is fine. I'm gonna do this for style.
And there's an extra sig on the end. Yeah.
Well, the nonce. So okay. So what did we do? We said members nonce threshold. So actually, the nonce goes right here, and then we're good. And then we just return the result. Yeah. Okay. This is good.
Nice. Now for the juice.
Yeah. Okay. So now we just have to validate, which is the hard part.
Yes.
Let's get rid of this. Well, the bottom part stays the same. Bottom part.
What's the number? Oh, okay. That's you just. Oh, the number was just like an arbitrary validation thing.
Yeah, that was because I was using this contract to test whether account abstraction actually works or not. So I was like checking all the edge cases with the number. So like basically the key thing to know about this function is that if the call data is this specifically, we are in an unsigned transaction. And so we need to be maximally distrustful, right? We also have a limit on how much gas we can spend in this phase, because if it doesn't validate, the sequencer is not going to pick it up and there's not going to be any gas assigned to it. And so there's basically a fixed budget that this gets in the execution. And I don't know what that number is going to be for sure. I mean, that's like, something to empirically discover. But for now, we can adjust it as we need it for this, because this is sort of a canonical account abstraction use case. Okay, so we still want this to be
checks, yeah.
correct. We still want the threshold to have been met. Oh, we want to scribe for this, don't we? Yeah, we do.
Oh,
oh,
yes. Yeah, we can put it. Yeah.
This is tricky. Because one of the things we have set up for validation for this validate call is that we don't have access to scries. So that might have to change here.
So, wait, we can't read our own data item either?
We might be able to.
Interesting.
We might have to change this. The idea here is that because it's an unsigned transaction, we want to essentially sandbox it to be unable to manipulate certain data. So it can't have side effects.
That's fine.
But maybe it can still have scries. That would be a change to the engine, but...
Shit.
No, no, I mean that's fine. We can do that. It's not it's a couple lines, but
Oh,
the
sweet.
question is, do we want to enable that? That's the question.
I mean, if you don't have scries enabled at all, the validation is like kind of arbitrary because you don't have any outside data you can kind of like
Yeah.
validate against, or
Yeah.
outside as in like an item somewhere on chain.
Yeah, it's extraordinarily limiting, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, we would have to we would have to include all the data used in validation inside the code of the contract, which would be challenging. Um, so
Oh
yeah,
wait. Oh
let's
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and change that. Let's go ahead and change that.
All right. Engine
um,
changes.
let's go ahead and
So.
change that in abstract combustion we have access to a real scry instead of this bunted scry. Um,
Oh.
which is not difficult to do because look, we have the search function right here.
Mm-hmm.
So we have search in regular combust. So I'll just literally, ooh, well, might have to adjust the way this is set up because this makes,
Scry fees.
um, this might be able to just be pulled from, mm, probably can't read other contracts. Yeah, okay, 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 I like this. We're
That
gonna
makes
take out
sense.
the contract ability and only have we're only gonna have the scry function have access to data data items. So actually we can make this scry function super simple. Super
Is there
simple.
some is there some reason for this other than like just having very complex like read paths and other things in this validation call? Um, could you do like virtually the same thing? Like there's no side effects anyway. It's just like costly.
Well, you don't, yeah, yes, but like, well, yeah, I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. All right, sure, sure.
Because
Uh,
then I'm just like for our purpose here, sure we only need our like data items, and probably for most cases you don't like read paths aren't used much currently, um, but they might be. They surely might be in the future. Um,
yeah.
well,
Um, yeah. Let's see. Sure. We'll start by just using this search, and then it's possible that we'll want to change that. So we're gonna have to
mhm.
initialize this combustion door. This change probably does like make it smart to move this back inside the greater context here.
Did you have it in some own door of its own somewhere?
Well,
No.
this lives inside of combust as a core. This is just like an arm
Hmm.
tacked into this subject, and maybe it makes sense to pull this out. But the key thing that search is relying on this like context for is the chain context right here and the budget
Ah.
and the budget,
Hmm.
neither of which are super relevant in the abstract combust. Well, there's still context, but there's no budget, and the context here is like very limited because it's the
Hmm.
unsigned, unverified call. But like, I guess search can just take those in as, yeah. I have like a decent test suite for this part of the code, so I am comfortable changing it because we can just run the tests and
Hmm.
see if it works. So let's try moving search outside of this combust arm.
YOLO.
Yeah, let's try this. See what happens. So we take this. This goes away. Abstract, combust, and then right down here we'll put search. And we'll just dedent it properly.
There we go.
Okay, this is pretty good. This is good, yeah. So we've got fixed scry cost, and then we'll put search here. But then search now is going to be initialized with yeah, there'll be a gate that makes this gate. No, this is good. This is good. So this will take, the only thing we need here is bud and context.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was pulling from here. And yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. So we call search here now. Search context bud. And then in the case of abstract combustion,
Same thing.
well, there's no budget
No bud,
here
yeah.
except the fixed abstraction budget. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if this will work or not, but we can try. We can try to compile it and see what happens.
Let's see.
388, it's unhappy because it's not happy with its context. 388. Oh, because we're calling it. Oh, this is a recursive function, so we just need to.
Context and oh. Oh, nice.
Yeah, this is getting pretty weird.
Yeah. Weird off.
I might have to. I'll have to go back and revisit the. I mean, it's just weird. Like, just the style of it. The style of it is weird.
Yeah.
But it compiled, so we're good. So we're good.
Looks good to me.
And then
Looks good to me.
I am gonna run the tests and then just run them in the background. Just so we know. So these will be running and we can go back to work.
Quick
Yeah,
catch.
there's a lot of tests. So okay. Now that we have scrying, it's cool that we can just add it like that, right? So now that we have scrying, we can use it. So we're just gonna put that in here, right? And then okay, so the validate action itself needs to have this.
Oh, never mind. It's called
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Clean. So we take it. This is good. We check for correctness. We check the threshold. We check the deadline.
Yes.
That doesn't change. And how we assert the signatures are correct. I think this code doesn't have to be messed with so much. We'll change the jolt hash.
Yes.
We'll change this to the cleaner version.
And nonce instead of length of executed.
Right. So we do plus nonce.noun.multisig, I think.
Mm, no. Right, because like if, well, depends. It doesn't matter really. But if, say, I'm gonna on the goal app side sign something, otherwise I just scry out and use that one, and then you increment it next time and check.
So here's a tricky thing, is that
Ah, claro. I see. Yeah, the side
yeah,
effects.
yeah. So we
Mm.
can't change the state of the multisig noun in this validation call. So I think
This would work though. Yeah, if we just like set it. Oh, do kind of need to change the nonce slash unexecuted thing, right?
I think the validation arm is not so. Oh, okay. So this always needs to be a callback to ourself. That's all.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, can we assert that? Yeah.
This always needs to be a callback to ourself. And we can assert that. But what we're going
Nice.
to do is the validate does not adjust the state of the multisig. It only validates. And if it validates, it calls back to adjust the state and actually execute. This is what we're doing with execute multiple, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let's turn execute multiple into just execute, right?
Yes.
And okay, here now we're talking. Now we're talking. Okay. So I'm gonna actually move this stuff even further down because actually it's only create that doesn't require this scry. So we can
Mm-hmm.
do we
Yeah.
can do this even cleaner by doing this. And we'll have to check here like that. Execute is in the same situation. And this doesn't get to go there anymore, unfortunately, but that's okay. It's more explicit if it's set per action anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So validate, and then we're going to have execute right here. And validate will always run and execute. So these two are next to each other because they always go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And this create function is literally only called once ever.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I'm actually gonna like move this into a function just to make it like, I don't know. I don't like, well, visually it needs to do that. Yeah. So create is like
Yeah.
really never run except for the first time this gets initialized. And then
Mm-hmm.
every other time we will in fact grab our multisig data that was created in the create, and then in the case of validate, we have to do enforce that call is execute to ourself. So this is really easy. So we can just say, and let me just refresh myself. A call is not a type that I use very often. So it's
Has.
contract, town, and call data. So contract.call.action is equal to this. That's our contract ID.
Mm-hmm.
And then additionally, also we can compress these assertions into one really long string of assertion. Like these can all be in a what PAM if we want.
Yes.
Uh,
We should do that. Yeah. And
I
then
don't. Yeah.
town and call data
Yeah.
is execute, or the head of call data is execute.
So head of call data is execute, and then yeah.
Can we do intra town executions?
This is redundant in the abstract case. This cannot be switched. mid-call.
Okay. Okay. No intertone executions.
That's
Yeah.
more for like clarity and provenance, just to have, and also for inside a transaction hash, having the town is important because then you can't replay transactions across towns. Hey, let's check on the tests. Okay, all the tests passed. We're good.
Nice.
Yeah, we can see that all the tests passed. This is ugly. I need to change my color to make this clearer. Anyway. Anyway, let's keep going. I think we're getting pretty close actually here. So I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna move this here, and I'm gonna move this up, and I'm gonna put all of this inside the thing.
Oh, like all the assertions inside a giant what pan?
Yeah,
Interesting. Nice.
I think that's probably more performant, and I'm gonna label them.
Well, yeah, until I guess no, you'd still get a good error message, I guess. I'm just thinking like, oh, your contract crashed, and then you look for which one it crashed to, and then it just points to like 1,000-line what
I
pan.
don't. I
Like,
mean,
then...
I'm fine with that. I'm like this logic is very actually simple. And these cases are not going to get hit unless you're doing something nefarious as well.
Sure.
So this is in the correct order. The thing is the order does matter because these get
Yes.
performed in order. So I think this order is good. And then we can keep the signature assertion correct, like separate, because this is like a loop. I don't want to, and I don't want to, I don't want to even calculate this unless all of this stuff passes.
Exactly.
That's another thing.
Yeah. Wasting virtual bits.
Yeah, I'm very like environmentally conscious. Okay, so finally we can say, okay, does this signed message include in the increment of the current knots? I think that's correct. So, and we can change that if it's not. I mean, this is pre-audit. This is like, this is the kind of code that needs to be very, very strictly audited. And, we have to be aware of that and not take it upon ourselves to do security, actually, or even fool ourselves into thinking that we've done security.
What do you mean? There's a huge what pan on lines 30 to 35. Looks good to me. Yeah, calls needs to be a call. And then I guess, yeah, execute draw hash will change a little bit because now it's not a list of calls anymore. Well, it is, but it's inside one call.
Yeah, we're going to recalculate this. This. So finally we say, this is an address. So we levy that, yes, in fact, we can recover each of these signatures and that they match the typed message. I mean, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
And then execute down here. All we're gonna do is adjust the knots of the multisig.
And the call data. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the call will be performed. And another thing is that this call. So this is funny. This is really funny. Execute here can take a list of calls. So there's nesting going on here because this call is singular, but this call, like what this looks like on the inside is call data of execute and then the real list of calls. So there's just a layer of indirection, but this actually makes it transparent to just you can make one proposal to the multisig that does any number of things, and this works. So
and also you can do anything. Like now with scrying anything, you can do anything within your validate function. Like if you choose to add it to your contract, just like you need to keep in mind that like if you have some funds in your contract, or if it holds any kind of tokens and you don't have a strong validate arm that like checks something at least,
Yeah.
that anyone can't do, then people will take your money.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think now we just literally do like lust dot action is the list of calls, and then the output is
Modified multisig
yeah.
and nothing else.
And we can insert action or events here as well.
Mm-hmm.
We can insert events, but oh, and also
That
I
might
think
actually be useful in the case of like indexing things later, like proposals, previous proposals. Now,
yeah, yeah, definitely. Just make this one line. Okay.
Nice. Compile, or yeah,
Well,
execute
hang
job.
on. This is like this needs to be in like a result. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was figuring. I was like, what's missing here?
Two bare bones.
Yeah. I don't like. See, I've been getting into this like this 67 character column width as the
Damn.
max. I've been getting into that recently. Yeah.
Unreal.
Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway. Deadline. Deadline should be inside the signature. It shouldn't be inside the action, right?
Well, you only have signatures, so there's no real way to go reverse. Like you can recover the address, but
Yeah, you're right. So the deadline has to be included in the action, but it has to match a deadline inside the signature. Oh, we're
yes,
already
which we
doing that.
do.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now what am I missing? I'm missing the execute jolt hash. So this is an old one, but I'm gonna put it
Shout
here.
out to Daco Step Roll for the old
Yeah.
multisig most of it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make a new version of this. So the chord. Let's just do this in the dojo.
Yeah, this is going to be a pain usually.
Can we do multi-line entry in the as a chord in the dojo?
It always breaks for me, especially if I do like triple chord thing. You can do it if you first paste like three whatever, not quotes, but the three single quotes. Then you paste everything inside three single quotes, and then yeah, that works. You can do multi-line inside the There you go.
Is that the same as that? Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
But yeah, calls is well.
okay,
We're
so,
still
so multisig is still pat ux.
It's just the call that should be just one instead of a list of calls. It's a call, but yeah, virtually doesn't matter. Nice.
Is that correct?
I think you might need the bracket. No.
This is an object. This itself is an object, right? Here.
Yes.
What do we have before? We had a list of this
called
object.
No.
Well, this is like spec. This is like spec. It doesn't like it has to be proper JSON, but it doesn't have to be. There's no specific format that we need to maintain. So I'm just gonna write proper valid JSON here. This is
Good. Okay.
is
Yeah. Does get into like if you sign with an Ethereum wallet like MetaMask and things like that, then like but anyway, you're signing a hash in the end of the data type, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and the purpose of this hash is to prove that as a signer you had access to a representation of the raw noun.
Yes.
So this is like, you know, as long as this jold accurately contains the thing that you sign, this is good. And this is the thing that you sign. You're signing, you know, the ID of the multisig item that you're going to, the
Mm-hmm.
singular call that you are producing, of the call data of which is arbitrary and opaque, just to be clear. So like that's a different layer.
Yes.
No, that's a different layer because these are shared and signed off chain. So we don't
Mm-hmm.
need to deal with jolts. We can use real molds for this part because we can write an app, and we're gonna write an app where the proposals are made very clear. Very clear, because the
Mm-hmm.
proposal never has to become, signed on chain. Anyway, call date is good, nonce is good, deadline is good. Um, yeah, okay. This is the jolt. So, copy this part. Does this have to be in a
Mm-hmm.
list, by the way? Is there a reason for that?
Yes, because you have several objects inside of it. You
Well, right,
could
but like, why isn't this an
hypothetically make a
object?
giant object. Yeah.
I don't know why this isn't an object. I would prefer it to be an object, all things considered. And we can
Yeah,
go back and fix this if
there
necessary.
might be a reason for that. Let me see. It should be fine though. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't matter for that.
I'm not gonna be able to like assign this to a type, am I?
Yes, you can do. You can do. Wait. You can do jold and then 3 quotes and then paste everything you have. And then yeah. There you go. Bang. You just hit DJSON and sham it. Oh no. Yeah, you're what? Mm. Yeah, good luck with
Um,
that. That copy is not gonna work. Yeah. Let's see. Actually, maybe it does work.
like that's annoying.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, I'm still in it. It's this sucks, man. This is annoying.
Yeah. Just do equals jold. It says jold space. Oh, okay, maybe this works.
Okay, so I need to do this whole
Jold.
thing, and then I need to return. I just want this. So then I need to do
Yeah.
sham need DJSON on it.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Now, sham.
And you need to cast it too. Yeah. DJSON.
That's annoying.
I can. Let's see if I can calculate this and send it to you.
Yeah, I'm not doing this well.
No worries. I've gone through the same things. The easiest way is to like define the jold as just a chord and do tis jold instead of tis fast.
Well, I can't, but that doesn't allow the multi-line.
It does. If you can't
Oh.
you can't import it at once. You have to do tis jold triple single digits and then
Oh, jeez.
import. Oh wait. Oh.
Look at what I'm doing. Is this gonna work?
Wow. Let's hope so.
So close. So close. This is annoying because look at that versus I mean that's actually like that's a wow.
We're getting into the nitty-gritty details of pasting multi-line chords into Dojo.
This is evil stuff, guys. Evil stuff. This is an embarrassing live stream. No, this is how the sausage is made. This is actually like good. Need Pat T.
Wait, you shammed. You need.
Did
Just
I
do
like
just do the thing you had above, but don't cast it to a pet UX.
I
And
messed
you'll
I
get.
didn't put that in. I swear I didn't put that in.
Nice. Bang. What?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good pain point to uncover. The fact that these are really hard to make. These are really hard to make.
They are. You could also do, instead of like, yeah, I've run through the same thing. In nicknames, I did like just a pair.
Why
You
don't I
can
just
do
put this on one
pairs.
line?
Yes. You can kind of also use an NJS function in
True.
like, but it's a little less clear of what you're actually signing. But
Oh, do you think my JSON is bad and that's why this is like failing? Yeah, I think like it's not happy with this JSON because
oh wait,
oh, I'm such a fool. Objects need to be like named. Oh, I know what. This is a how the jolts are produced. This is like um this does need to be an array on the outer end. And then separately, this internally needs to be an array as well. I just yeah.
yeah, array of objects doesn't. Yeah.
Okay, let's try that again. Huh.
Very nice error messages. Wait, let me preview.
Yeah, this is failing. It's failing because this is call. I actually don't know why this is failing. It's an array. It's got. Oh, maybe my JSON is just bad.
Okay, I think.
Yeah, I think I just have mistakes in the JSON. So this call here, yeah, I put the bracket in the wrong spot.
You go, because I got it working, and let's see if it matches what you get. But where's the chat? Here. Here's the Joe. Should be back.
Okay, DB2B. All right. Yeah, I think I'll just use yours. I don't want to. I feel silly
No worries.
here.
It should be correct.
Okay. I'll just use that. I'll just put this in. I'll just put this in a comment.
I can paste.
Okay, yeah, can you paste me the version that you used to produce this?
Yes. Here's the thing, the contract.
Thanks.
Oh wait, what's that? Oh yeah, it's just formatted weird in Google.
No, you're good. Yeah, nice. Okay, cool. That was a little detour, but we're good now. Execute.
Not cutting it up.
Execute jolt hash. Okay, well, this. All right, let's try to compile this. See if we get some knock. Syntax error. Because this was, I got a little too cocky here. This is no
Nice
good.
job. Oh, do we need the test start? No, this looks.
Sometimes the parser does not appreciate irregular
One line.
forms being chained together like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the answer is to wrap this one in brackets. Oh, it's just because, no, well, why would it say syntax error? Like, there'd be a type error here because I am making like a weird like list that's not correct. The type error would make sense, but anyway. Mint vein. Are we missing an action here? Validate, execute, add member, remove member. So oh, create, yeah. What does create take? It takes
Control the members. That should be it.
yeah, nice. Here we go. It's happening.
Giving knock.
Give me some knock. Find threshold.act.
Oh. Action. Wait.
Oh, yeah.
See, I remember doing this. At this point I've standardized to .act. I like that.
I like action, but I'm not sold one way or another. I think it's fine either way.
Mm-hmm.
Act is, act is shorter. It's true. Here, it would be clean here. This line would be of the proper size.
Ah, see?
Yeah.
67 characters.
I don't know. I for certain contracts, I find that, maximal clarity is worth achieving.
Fair enough.
I love how short this contract is. This is incredible. I mean, 120 lines of code for abstract multisig.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison to make.
I think so. I mean, just the surface area for audits is like pretty reasonable,
Main line is smart.hoon, which I guess is imported everywhere.
As smart.hoon as surface area for audits.
Is it? I guess it's imported everywhere. Well, it depends on what you use from it, but
yes. No, the whole standard library for sure is, surface area. But once, like, the idea is, like, obviously we have a large burden there, but as a contract developer, you don't have a large burden. Okay, I should just try to build this file because I'm not getting good compile errors out of our compiler still. So
yeah, that's a good tip anyway.
And it's also a lot faster. Okay, line 26.
What was there again?
Oh, I hate this because all of these actions have except execute. Yeah, okay. Execute should have our. Whoops.
You could do like a nice type union, but
Find p.calldata. p.calldata.action. Find p.calldata.action because it's p.call.action. No, p.calldata.call.
Call data, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Find lib because we don't use lib
We
anymore.
don't have a lib anymore. Damn. Will this mean, by the way, because otherwise it's being useful to. So, wait, the types live within a door in the right arm, right? No, or in the context, I guess. If is yes.
Sorry, repeat that, please.
No, I was thinking like okay, if you have a lib, it's useful for outside Go apps to just like import and build
Yeah.
fast sys
Yeah.
the the file and then take the types from there. I
Yeah.
guess I'll be able to do the same thing here.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not easy because it's inside the right arm.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yes, I will build a library for this because yeah, it's nice to just have this one thing to import.
Yes, exactly.
Let's do that now. Let's do that now because we it is compiling now.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Yeah. So get rid of this.
So wait, I'm gonna check if things I need to change on the Go app. It's basically just signing and the actual call to execute.
So we'll say lib con lib abstract multisig. Well, we should come up with a name for this, by the way, like a, funky name.
For the abstract multisig?
Yeah, like it should be like have a
Good
name,
point.
like a brand name. It should have
Ooh.
like you know something that people can call it. That's not just the abstract multisig. So if you have any ideas.
I think it's a forum. It's an abstract forum. It's a
Well, don't put the word abstract in it because it's kind of silly.
you can call it the AAM for more.
I don't like that either. That's
fake
ridiculous.
acronyms.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna I will call it AM for now. Zig compile con abstract multisig. So let's take a look at the knock. Let's see how small it is. Compile. Come on. Okay. Look at that. That's the whole thing right there.
Look at that for surface area.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean,
Nice.
it gets bigger when you expand it out, but it's pretty
I
clean.
think there's a bug on line 56 with 707. Some issues.
Yeah, this is wrong. Okay, so I'll do save it. Okay, we have I'll copy it in. And do you want to try running some transactions through it?
Do that. Do you want to do a test or like through Golap or just Dojo?
Let's do tests because this is useful for showing how to do tests.
Okay, yeah.
Let's do tests. So, let's do tests. So let's take the Zig's test file and just use this as a template here. So we'll use the transaction sim library, which is helpful. Tests, contracts, abstract.
Let me see. I might have tried this. So, because I've done some, most on collabs, but I've done some like type data signing within tests that might be helpful for you.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have any transaction sim examples in this. Oh, I have one in orgs. That's where I have one.
Call data.
This is just no. This is just a test of a contract that's not just zigs.
Oh yeah. Um. AM.
I
It's
don't like
AAM.
this. Close contract.
It's kind of a refactoring stream.
Yeah, this is probably not that super interesting for people, but I think it's fine.
Mhm.
No, I mean I think this is pretty useful content for those who are seeking to write contracts. You know,
This is true.
let's just call it multisig because we don't like.
Yeah, that's what I thought in the beginning too. But yeah, we're replacing.
We're replacing. We are.
Yeah. If you want to, for some reason, spend huge amounts of gas and do every single proposal, vote, and execute on chain, you can do that too. There's an older version,
Yeah.
and the Golab for it too. But most people won't.
Yeah, most people won't. So we'll make chain state here, and we will include the multisig pact. So this is just putting our contract on the chain, just spawning it, and then I don't think we need to spawn anything else right now. It would be helpful to have a multisig that's already in existence. So, okay, so we'll have one that already exists, and then we'll have a different one for testing create. So this will be one that's been initialized, and then we'll say uninitialized. Uninitialized. Yeah, I just want to do one or two tests to see if it works, you know. So we'll need an item here. So I'm going to do something like this. Just same as for like a pre-spawned test org. So my multisig. So what this will look like is like, okay, we have the ID of the multisig pact, and then the holder here is, we have to look at the contract, but the holder is just gonna be this contract. Yeah. So it's the same thing as right here. Default town ID. The salt is 0, right? Because we're only ever having one item coming out of this contract. My multisig, I'm not gonna make this a function. I'm just gonna make the one.
Could technically fork the multi-sig contract shown here and make like a nesting multi-sig for your family or something with sub items.
Yeah, you could.
And then
this is gonna be a threshold and a set of signatures. So make pset, and then caller 1, caller 2, caller 3. Or adder 1, adder 2, adder 3. Yeah. So this is a threshold, we'll say 2 out of 3. So this is a multisig. And then this one doesn't have an item yet because we have to call create.
Nonce.
Oh, nonce, right. So nonce on this one can be, let's put it at 7. So like it's already run a bunch of stuff. And we can, obviously these tests are not meant to be exhausting. We're just gonna write a few just to make sure this works. So let's do a test, and we'll just do a basic give. Okay, so let's actually do a give, and let's spawn some tokens for the multisig. Let's just say that we already have,
Mm-hmm.
one full zig in our multisig. So we'll make an account for it, and it'll just be ID my multisig ID, one zig. This is gonna be really fun, by the way, for all kinds of stuff. We can now make like real, DAOs.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then no allowances necessary. Okay. And by the way, this function just comes from the transaction sim library. It gives you
nice.
some helpful primitives for dealing with gas tokens and stuff. Okay, so
Do
the
you need
call data.
nonces
Yeah.
too and the fungible, or just allowances? There's a map of nonces too, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe. Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah. So let's see here. Let's do. Oh, and we don't need to make signatures for the actual transaction because it's an abstract transaction. So this is going to be fun. So the
Oh.
call data, the outer call data is validated. The outer call data is validate. And then the inner call data is our ID, SIG's deadline, and then the inner call. So I'm just gonna copy this. This is gonna be gigantic, so I'm actually gonna do it as call time. So this is just my multisig ID.
Mm-hmm.
SIGs we're gonna have to make. It's gonna be complicated. Deadline.
Yes.
Deadline we can just put it 1000, and then we can set the ETH block height to 999. So we're pre-deadline. And then the inner call looks like to a contract ID, which will be.
R. Yes.
Oh, right. This is always the ID of the multisig contract itself.
And then execute. And then the actual call data.
Right. What goes here? The town ID.
Yes. And yeah, there you go.
There we go. Again, my multisig ID. And then the actual call data, which is a Zig's give. It's just a Zig's give. So I'm gonna take that from. I have a lot of files with the word Zigs in them.
For all the people that are, or they're still watching for the first part, but like, secondly, allergic to tests, you can also do all of this manually through your dojo.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Transactions.
More power to you. Okay, so we're giving to, sure, let's give to Dead Beef. We'll give 500,000 of the smallest unit. So this is a very small amount of Zig, but and then we'll produce the ID of my. Oh, this account, I almost messed up here. This account should not be my multisig ID. This should be the ID of the
yeah.
contract.
Yes.
That's the kind of like, that's like little stuff that's like, tricky. Tricky, very tricky. Okay, so this is a Zig's give. This is good transaction. So we just need to make the signatures here. And then let's just check for error code 0 and then the fact that we gave the Zigs. So we'll just check against chain state here that that the multisig pact should have, there's a number of Zigs it should have, which is, let's instead of, this is like too much to type out all the time, let's just make this like 1 million and then 500,000 here, so that we can just say they should each have 500,000.
We somehow have to get the private keys from those test addresses you have up on the top, and sign the type data with them. Which will ultimately be like abstracted away to a nice like library call, but
Yeah.
might lead to be a bit tricky.
This is going to be really annoying. Yeah.
See, this way, it would have been better to just do it manually through Dojo. That's really cool.
Well, just
Test writers BTFO yet again.
The private keys, I had these. Well, not this one, but I had these, which is why I made them these. But I should put them in the file because yeah, you do need to have those. Let's use new addresses for the multisig. Let's use new addresses that we have the private keys of. That we have the private keys of in this file available to us. We can wrap this up after we just get the one test. Let's just nail the one test. So yeah, so we need to make the multisig with different addresses here. So let's do let's do m adder 1. Well, let's just do private keys here. And let's just do really simple, stupid private keys,
Oh shit, yeah, we can. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we'll just derive everything from this.
Oh, sweet. I didn't realize we could do that. Nice.
So we're just going to derive the public key from this, and I'll just go into wallet just to copy out that code to do that. So we'll calculate a seed, and we'll build a core. Yeah. No. This is good. This is good.
Yeah. The actual signing is reasonably simple.
Yeah. So, the seed here is just mpriv 1. And this is like obviously super ugly. Goes without saying. But we'll do this both here and in the test.
Yes. And the Ziggurat suit alpha is like coming along, which like abstracts away many of these contract development things, including tests.
Yeah.
Fake ships.
Yeah, this will be better. This will be better in the future. But now we can sign things, which is helpful. So, let's produce this PMAP. And I'll just do it inline here.
Yeah.
So, m adder, or just adder 1, and then we need to produce a signature. This is going to be annoying.
Oh yeah, well, fuck. Now one more. You need to produce a hash of the typed message first. That's the annoying part.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
No. Neither is actually the signing. Check wallet.
The typed message. Yeah. Well, let's.
There you go. If this is
sign typed message.
Yeah.
So,
it's just.
Let's do this. Okay, so
domain is just our multisig ID, data item, and you can maybe hard code the sham type. It's just the jolt hash.
Correct. And I have this in multisig lib.
Yes.
is it called though? What is it called?
Execute jolt hash, if I remember
Execute jolt
correctly,
hash.
to bring back esoteric names. And then the message is just the things you're signing. So
Which is
there's
this
a call, and then
this thing.
yes.
I think it is.
Wait, there's a few more things.
I'll show you this.
So the message itself also has the multisig ID. Yeah. So wait, it's it's not just my call. It's
not.
well, it is technically actually, but it doesn't include. Let me see, what's my call? It's just
Well, we're
yeah, that works. Yeah,
the type message is
that.
it is that, because that is
Yes.
this is called out action. Should I just should I put no, I can't do that. No.
Do
Okay.
what?
No, never mind. This is good. Yeah, okay, my call. And is that the same thing? No, that's not the same thing at
You
all.
need you need
Yeah. Okay. So we need the nonce, the deadline. Yeah, right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we wrap this in another layer. So, okay, so I'll do this. I'm writing ugly code because I'm like very, I'm antsy to test this is really the thing that's going on. So instead of my call, it's a wrapper around my call that also includes our action. Yeah, the four things. Okay. And there's probably some redundancy here. I'm sure there's some redundancy here. The deadline is
the keeping having the multisig ID inside the actual thing being signed might be one. It's already in the domain.
Yeah.
But it's arguably you're signing yeah, I don't know.
Again, I'm not even trying to be secure here. So okay, so this is like one more than the current nonce. Yeah. So let's try that, and we can, we'll debug it. We'll debug it. So we have our typed message. Now we actually want to sign the typed message, which is very simple. All we have to do is ECDSA raw sign. The hash of the type message,
which is yes.
shag smart typed message, and then ECDSA raw sign.
Bam.
And here, this is just mpriv1. Is that correct?
Yes, for the first one.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, probably some mistakes in there, but let's try to run it.
Godspeed.
Thank you. Okay, so zig transaction sim tests contracts abstract multisig. See if it even builds.
exciting as always. Let's see.
Yeah, this takes forever because it's building the whole engine. Oh, that's actually something I can change, by the way. I realized that I can use vases unsafely here to make this a lot faster. So I'm gonna change that actually real quick. Also, the syntax error that just was discovered. Um, so something odd is that um, you see this line here.
Okay.
We need to do it that way in certain places to make things work. But in other places, we're allowed to do it a different way. And I don't know why. It's a mystery. I've asked people. It's a mystery. But we can do it this way here. It's valid.
Okay. Instead of make. Okay.
Yeah, it's very strange. Can I get my thing back here? And look how much faster this is. I mean, it
Oh
fails,
wow.
but look how much
Nice.
faster it fails. So now we're looking for BIP32 because we haven't imported that library. No big deal. Just import that library. BIP32. Yeah, I think we only need BIP32. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Find.
Wait. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I got fooled by the all okay again.
Yeah, that's I shouldn't print that if it crashes, but it's
Yeah,
annoying
so
to
many
make it.
times.
It's annoying to make it not print when it crashes. It can't find id.p of multisig packed
Is
because
it that line? Wait.
it's actually called multisig packed.
Mine. Oh.
Ah, that should produce id.p. It is that line. Multisig.
Press.
Why doesn't it? Why doesn't it want to give me id.p? My multisig
Oh,
packed item.
Q multisig contract ID.
Because no, the ID is right here. Like it's in the item. I've done this a million times.
Mm-hmm.
I know you have too. 21, 75.
Oh.
No, I just deleted something. That's why that happened. That's why I changed lines. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting.
Wait, do you have multisig packed and it well, wait. Are you sure the method you're getting, like the account method on the transaction sim, takes those things?
It takes an ID.
Yeah.
And it can't, it's not even getting to that point. It can't find multisig packed. Even though it's right here as an arm. That's the weird thing.
Doubles anywhere? It should be id.p too.
Well, it's not even, it's able to find it here. Did I misspell it? Am I like...
Yeah, I looked at that already. No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, what happens if I just like take
Oh,
this?
wait. Never mind. No. Yeah, yeah, do that actually. Yeah.
Does that work? To replace it with the thing it actually is? Now it can't find code. So okay. So it's like it has something to do with like this. You know, tests are kind of annoying like this
See?
because
Test writers yet again BTFO.
They can't do certain things.
Exactly.
Like they can't access certain data. It's like I mean it's my weakness, right? It's like I don't know what I'm doing, basically. But still it's annoying. It doesn't work the way you'd expect it to all the time. So now I'm just looking for, well, this one. Oh, see, yeah, it's the same exact thing going on here. Yeah. So like I just need to like do this. Like that's annoying. That's just
Wait,
like,
wait, what? Really?
yeah, because like I don't know.
Oh, no.
It just doesn't want to like it doesn't want to put it inside. Oh, it's cuz like I'm doing it inside this core, right? And it's like, you know, that wants only values
Oh,
available inside that subject. I don't know. I mean, it's just that's my code being stupid. It's like it's really on me. Um,
yeah, you can do it without pulling everything from the Zig's test file.
so like here I can do it this way. Like that's just me being silly. So I can probably do the same thing in the other place as well. Like you see that? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
so like here I don't need to do it the funny silly way. I can like just do this. I just forget about that. I'm not very good about like keeping track of the subject. I kind of just like feel like I'm just sort of like running through it, and it's I'm not being careful at every step to you know
Well, it
to
depends on how many like layers of abstraction you're on as well. Like in tests, like here,
yes.
like okay, you have this method from this other file. Okay, do I just pull that, or am I trying to pull all these values at the same time? Like otherwise, I feel, yeah,
I
worries.
do. I feel like I'm far away from that.
Oh, okay, but now it builds, um, and now what the hell
Yeah.
is error code one?
Yeah, so we're having, but we have some issues with our transaction here. Um, this shell is wrong. Partially, this shell is wrong. So, uh, this is from the library again. So this is just like a very like easy default shell to use inside
Mm.
your transaction. Where does it go? Where's my shell? Oh, maybe it's in this file. Yeah. Yeah, so this is just wrong. This isn't what we want here.
Oh yeah, we want an empty. Yeah.
So we want this should be basically nothing, and then this should be to the correct contract. Um,
Yes.
and then this budget this budget actually has to be
Five
a lot
thousand.
smaller, because otherwise it will fail, because we only have this many zigs, and we can't send, there's budget checks basically
Mm-hmm.
in that part of the code.
When we're sending zigs, yes.
Anyway, okay, we're still failing.
Gas paid. Wait, isn't there? How does the validate gas check come into the? Oh, it doesn't matter. It just that's like for validating the signatures. Is 5,000 gas current.
That's actually an incorrect number. This printout is wrong. And I actually don't know where it's coming from either. Oh, it's coming from right here. It's coming from, yeah, so that's interesting, but wrong. So I should check the engine for that. But, we have to put some prints into the engine to see what's going wrong here.
Which is also an esoteric tip for anyone watching this far. It's very useful.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going in we're going in and we're executing code because it's taking 15 milliseconds. But I think we're running out of gas
In the validate
in the
thing,
validate. So I think we're getting to
should
here and we're running out of the fixed gas budget here.
try increasing, or maybe
I'm just
yeah,
going to
try
put a print
increasing it.
here.
Yeah.
Fixed gas bud exceeded. I'm fairly certain this is what's happening. But I'll just to, you know. No, yeah, let's just do that for now. And that's why it's saying 200,000 is because it thinks it ran the budget down to 0. So I can fix that and fix that in the engine. I should. And just make sure the output is proper. But it doesn't actually matter because
Oh
these
wait,
are unsigned.
wait. Why does it think it run it down to 0 when it?
Because
Oh,
because
because
it
it's
ran
a
out.
budget.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It ran out of gas, so to speak. Um, yep, fixed gas budget exceeded.
Damn. Increase the fixed gas budget and see what happens.
For sure, for sure. So instead of this 5,000 number, well, let's get it. Let's try to like ballpark it here. So
Okay, we have three sigs,
yeah,
and the
so
call.
we've got a lot of stuff happening here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this apt pi. That's costly. This is costly, and then of course, uh, this is costly, and this is really costly.
The apt buy is kind of unnecessary, right?
Well, I don't. I'm
Um,
fine with keeping it. I'm just
no, it's good, but it's like it's still checked in all the signatures.
so one thing we can do is jet these and attach fixed costs to them. But I know that we have fixed costs attached to hash data and recover. We're running recover 3 times. Um, that's
Oh,
100 gas
interesting.
each, which is actually really small. Um, so that's actually not doing it. It's probably the other stuff. Hash data comes at a cost of about 1,000, because actually it's calling. No, it comes at maybe it comes to 100. I don't know. These numbers are made up. These numbers are completely fake. But
I think K256 is called more than one might think.
it is.
If you like turn on the jets, you can see.
Yeah, let's do
Sure,
that.
that's a cool debugging thing too.
Yeah,
Like
let's turn
you
on the
you
jet prints.
you printf, but you like have an accumulator in the subject of how much gas you've paid, and you can see after each jet like how much. That's actually like when you get into optimizing and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, well, we can't get into optimizing because we don't have a solid gas semantic. Let's set the gas budget to 1 million though, and let's see what comes out of that, and let's see in abstract combust what we get back as our gas expenditure if we succeed here. So if we come back out of zinc and we get our book in the appendix, I want to see gas. And I forget if this returns how much we spent or how much we have left. I think it's actually how much we have left. But oh man, so much stuff to. There's a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of to dos. There's a
Yeah.
lot of to dos, man. But um, parts that work are being built one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm willing to kick the can on gas semantics quite far down the road because as we run a test net and as we run as proof of authority, gas can be the only thing that's important for gas to do is bound computation. We don't need it to establish like a market yet.
Mm.
yet.
And the bound like competition currently is arbitrary, or like 100 for this,
Yeah.
1,000 for that.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, so this is super interesting. So we're getting all of our jets in, which is good. But we're running out. We're not running out of gas. Something's actually failing here. Because we're coming out of this and we're not getting here. We're getting here. Which means, well, let's take a look at the jets. Clearly, yeah, we're doing hash data. This is hash data. It's all this. Which, by the way, yeah, we should jet. Should I just toss that jet in right now?
This is gonna be an infinite live stream as we just go deeper and deeper into the stack.
Hey, it's. I'm having fun. Are you? I know it's getting late for you.
No, it's all good.
Okay.
It's actually cool. Like you can see how you get deeper and deeper into stack, and how it's actually not that.
It's
Well, it is
not
deep, but
far
it's not
at
actually
all.
that deep. Yeah, you're like already in the engine now at already like at jets.
Yeah.
Well, not the jets themselves, but the budget for them and printing them out as they run. Yeah.
Hash data takes 4 atoms.
Bam.
Ooh, this should actually do it in the engine. That'll make it a lot faster.
Why?
Does this have engine? Because it'll be jetted.
Oh, okay, yeah, and this is okay, makes sense, yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, classic.
The issue is that this is like recursive, I think. Yeah, like this takes in this. Like they can't import each other. So
could just take an engine and like derive smart from there. But no, this will change up the whole file.
Yeah, this is overdue for a refactor in terms of where certain things live. I'd like to move hash data and hash packed that don't live in smart into here. That would be clean. But for now, yeah, okay. I'm definitely gonna do it that way. So I'll just move this. I'll just move this. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it. I'm gonna take it out of engine because it doesn't belong in engine, and I'm gonna put them here.
How will I access? Oh, okay. No, oh, never mind. They're in engine, not
Because engine imports this.
Yeah.
This works. I don't know if it has Merc, but it might. Okay. This is for another time. This is too disruptive to fit into this amount of code that we're doing. So I'm not going to do that.
But the only thing that was left was just an extra Merc import.
Yeah.
That would have been like more moving things around otherwise.
Anyway, let's try to see where the contract is failing. So it looks like it's getting through all of this. And it looks like we're maybe hashing the data. Oh, is this in lit? No, that's fine.
Is it?
No, this is here.
Sure.
This is here. Because this is in lib, and lib is, exposed.
Oh, did we?
Let's add some prints. Let's add some prints.
That's also a good one.
So we'll add some raw hints. right here.
I was just about to say, like, or this is an esoteric way to do this. You just have the exact same string and you paste it within the thing, and then you count up to like how many times it's been printed rather than changing it each time. But okay, yeah, I haven't done that.
Esoteric. Let's see. I mean, let's see if we get some good stuff out of this. This is good. This is good debugging content, I think.
Yeah, printfs in Zinc and Engine are very useful.
I mean, this is sort of like, you know, casual or unserious debugging because, you know, in a way we're like very, you know, I don't know, laissez-faire, like going through this in a sort of like casual way rather than a serious way.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the backseat coding currently.
Yeah, I mean, you know, next stream we can have you take the wheel because I think next we should do this again and focus on the Gaul side.
Yeah.
Because this is we're stuck in the contract side right now, but when we move over to the Gaul side, I think it'd be good for you to take a seat behind the keyboard and
the call side is impeccable. It has 0 errors.
Nice.
It's a type. It's a state machine, man.
Let's commit the new contract and let's try to run the tests on the new contract. See what we get out. Oh, this is really good. This is really good. So we're getting all the way to GHJL.
Oh, nice.
So, which is unfortunate though.
God damn it.
Also,
Oh shit.
because now we're seeing that recovery
Ugh.
is failing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a number of things that can be wrong here. How did we do the signatures again? We just signed with private keys. We got it's shag.
See, now we have to be serious. Now we have to be serious because this is.
Do we?
Well, because
Yeah,
this is complicated. so let's look at how we're building the typed message. We are not actually using the contract ID here. We should use the. This is bad. This is bad.
Is it?
This is wrong. Yeah. This is the domain.
Which should be the thing you're like modifying, I guess. Which is
the domain should be this contract. I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, this is a choice, but I think the domain should be the piece of code that produced. Oh shoot! I gotta plug in my computer. Oh, I have 1%. Oh my god.
See, we're getting serious now.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I'm really gonna run out of battery here.
You good?
Oh no, because the stream, the video will die. Oh
shit.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I got it. We're good.
Download more battery, man.
We're good. We're charging now. All right.
We could also remove like r.action from the if we already have a domain.
Yes.
We could kind of remove that.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm confident that this is the same. And now I feel good that this can be the same. Now the question is this the same? So we have call, nonce, deadline. Let's look at the let's put these side by side. So we have my call, which is, you know, the call we're making. We have type message, which is not the item ID.
Hey, the call you're making. Oh, never mind. Yeah, just saw ID and I went like, we're not calling.
So this is good now. This is good now. This can be taken out, and we just have my call, which is of course the actual action. We know that. We have the nonce, and we have the deadline. And here we have deadline 1000, and then nonce.
8. You put it to 7 for some reason.
Well, the nonce is that's what's in the item right now. The nonce of 7 is in the item. So you've got nonce of 7 here. So this is good. This is good. Let's try it now.
We do have to, yeah.
Oh, here's another thing. So this typed message is being recovered directly. Does recover hash this?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
And we're using shag in smart, so we're good. Okay. Just checking.
Yes.
I need to rebuild this contract, by the by.
Zabo AI agent, rebuild my contract and publish it to my test.
Yeah. That's going to be pretty sick.
Yeah. The good news is the Goal app should work like pretty much out of the box with this. It's the same structure with some minor changes.
Yeah.
The cool part will be displaying the proposals themselves.
Yeah. Find multisig pact. Forgot an I.
Classic. Also, a cool part is like you could do with some simple changes. Oh,
We're super close now.
interesting. RLPN code. Is that more than last time or less?
It's the same. It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, shit.
So we're still not recovering. I don't know why I said we're close, because we're still not.
That by SIGs, recover type message SIG.
We should do a sanity check on like these signatures and just make sure they're actually correct.
Yeah.
Let's try to do this in the dojo.
See, now we're talking.
Yeah. So let's build one of these things. So let's take mpriv1. And then let's build this core. And then let's build this address that comes out of that.
Oh, that might be the... Oh, damn it. That should work, though. That should...
We'll find out. We'll find out right now.
Yeah.
Let's do a pat UX on that, baby. Okay. Okay. That's our address. That's our address.
All right. Then sign the thing and then recover. See if it recovers.
So we don't even have to sign like the thing. We can just sign something. So let's do this on a hash of 1234 with mpriv1. Oh. Okay, so here's a signature. Now let's do an ECDSA raw recover, or let's just do
smart recovery. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we should, but then in that case we do need to produce a typed message, which is fine. Equal type message, and we'll just cast it. And then we'll produce, 0x0, the jold hash, which is what we'll call 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the actual call data, which is also 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'm just like, this is, you know.
Now you need a new sig though.
Yeah, I'll make one. I'll make one. So
Yeah.
I'll do the type message, and then I'll do a sign on the shag smart of the type message.
Yes.
There. That's a new
There you
sig. And then we want to put that into recover smart.
Type sig. Let's go.
And then that thing. Okay. So
Different.
that's different. That's different. So
Okay, wait.
So something about this process that we're doing up here and getting this address from private key, I think we're signing with the wrong thing. I think we're putting this is not what belongs here. I think I know what it is. I think that should be this. This should be private key from core 1.
Wait,
yep.
What did
Bam,
we
there we
before?
go. There we go.
What did we do before?
We were just using the raw seed. So this, yeah.
No,
so
yeah, you got private key.
This is what we should be using for the signatures, as opposed to just the raw seed. And I don't know why I mean, this is why I'm not like I'm not a security wizard, and if we'd be in a lot of trouble if I was. This is like it's not my place to get this right. Just kidding. We got it. We are good.
Wait.
We are good.
We're through. Wait. 6.
Yeah, but that's good. This is great. We got through the validate with only
okay.
we only spent 13,000 gas.
Okay.
On the validate.
Nice.
So, look, we can go back to the engine, and we can see that we only spent a little bit of gas.
A little bit over the previous hard-coded limit.
Yeah. But we can just bump the limit up. So this is remaining. I'm gonna take these prints out. So we got through this. We can say, let's set the fixed abstraction budget to, let's say, 30,000. It's reasonable for now. And then that'll get us through. Now, what we failed in was the Ziggs contract that we forwarded to, I think. I think.
Yes.
Because...
Did you add the engine prints? Do we have this stuff context? No.
We can add one. We can add one. But what I'm seeing here is that we got through the validate call.
Very nice.
I think we might have actually gotten stuck in the execute call.
Oh shit. Damn it. We're not out of our own contract.
We might have gotten stuck in the execute call, because if you look at this, the call that came in is obviously execute. So we go into execute, and then we get here maybe. I'm not sure. We might crash in here. But that's confusing to me, specifically because you can see that we're running a lot of jets here. Yeah?
Yeah, sorry. No, go back. Execute takes a list of call, right?
Yeah.
Are we giving it that?
Yeah, no, this is good. Execute says our ID and then list call.
But in the test, I think you can add a face.
Oh, you're saying, you're right. That's literally it. This needs to be a list.
Well, not that. No. The whole thing, right? No, wait, no.
No,
wait,
this is a singular call. This is a singular call.
Execute.
I know, it's This is good though.
No, but like, wait, do you pass on my? Let's see if this works. But did you pass on my call in the transaction? Like, this is the call you give. Oh yeah, but you okay? That shouldn't matter.
I'm gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna give this a run.
I'm pretty sure this should actually work.
Yeah, I am gonna recompile the contract because I edited it.
But it's the same. Like,
It's fundamentally the same. Yeah, I just made the calls more explicit because I was doing less, which is the opposite of explicit. Okay, really getting close here. This is exciting. Man. This is exciting. Quit. Copy that. Or no, I need to actually compile it.
Yeah, the process for currently, like, you edit the contract locally. You compile it into a jam file, which is then put in your and then you can copy that into like wherever on your desk, usually into con/compiled, and then use that in other files. You can't quite notice this, but Ben's a fucking dojo wizard.
No, not even. That didn't even change the final knock.
See?
Yeah, wizardly. Okay. Oh, this is good. This is good. We're getting really close
4.
now.
Wait, what's a 4?
We're getting a 4 because we're calling a missing pact because in our test, this execute.
Oh, there we go.
This. Wait. No, this is correct. This is not a call. This is not a call data type. This is the wrong data type. This is a call data.
Yeah, and that's the call. Yeah, a list of call.
Yeah, exactly. We gave it a list of call data.
Damn it. Okay, fuck.
No. Yeah. We're good. Because look, this is just super simple because now we just put literally like Zig's contract ID here, whatever pact ID.p pact Zigs. I think this is gonna work.
This is now gonna work.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we can. Crossed. Oh, there we go.
Let's go. Oh, nice.
There we go.
So everything passed, everything went through, but we expected a modified with the two accounts having an equal amount, 500,000. But what we got was 500,000, 500,000, and then the edited multisig, which is actually good, and we do actually want that. So we should just make chain state, and then we'll take this my multisig.
It's a classic case of your test don't run. Just delete the test, bro, and then they're passed.
I am gonna actually put in here like state and make this into a function that takes this, which will let me produce altered states of this quite easily between tests and the real thing, so that I can do something like that, right? The nonce is now 8 and nothing else changed. And now that we have this in place, we are going to be able to do really cool stuff. Failed. Failed because
Zig's address, right? No, wait.
Because it wants these adders. Because these are not. No, this is fine. I'm just gonna move these into their own arms. See, core 1, adder 1. This is all good. All good. Also, the fact that these are whatever. They don't need to be here anymore.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, this is not good.
Yeah, for the test bros, this is actually a reasonably nice way to define like state. Like, oh, this is kind of what I want the chain to look like after I do my things. And assert that, and otherwise print the difference.
Yes. All right. There we go. All right.
Boom shakalaka.
Yeah. Boom shakalaka. Nice. All right, we did it. We did it. We have a yeah, gasless multisig. Um, it's
You could
pretty cool.
easily add instead of having a member set of
Yeah.
just some arbitrary members, you make that an NFT collection and then check for membership there, or like
Yeah.
arbitrary assassination markets income.
Yeah.
Nice, well done.
Yeah. We can do a lot of stuff with this. One thing that I have to do, and I'll do this later, is I need to make sure that so you'll notice that like in this expected, the gas is not being charged, right? We're getting the perfect values, and I need to make sure that abstract accounts are properly getting charged, but that wouldn't happen in this step anyway. It would happen after this step. So I'll look
Wait,
into that
after
myself.
the trans.
Yeah. So the way the engine works is actually that you have this what we're calling in the test is we're calling this inner intake.
Ah, okay, not the actual run thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you look at what transaction sim is doing, like we're calling the intake arm like directly, and we're just
Hmm.
getting an output. And the output includes a gas fee. That gas fee gets extracted elsewhere in the execution engine, specifically up here in the
Hmm.
outer loop. And so you will be charged after. Yeah, it works. It works. Just a point of order that the test file itself does not account for that. Which is nice because then otherwise you would need to do special accounting with this value. So yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, like minus this,
yeah,
yeah, the not very good
yeah,
estimate gas sub. Awesome.
yeah,
Right, I can change the compiled gem
yeah.
in the Goal app, and basically, very
So
nice.
yeah, so what I'll do, and I'll stop this recording in a minute, but what I'll do is um, take. So obviously I made some changes to the engine, so I'm going to make a new branch and a new PR, and I'm going to PR that stuff into Uqbar core. But then I'll take these contract files out and I'll send them to you out of band, and then you can put them in the multisig repo.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Well, thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back later.